I'm a soldier. I follow orders, just very poorly. Welcome to the Off Topic Podcast. I'm your host, Lucas, and I'm here with William.
Hi. It's been a little while since we've made a podcast, hasn't it?
What do you mean? We're weekly.
We
Just not telling you which weeks.
I don't think we've ever released a podcast consecutively weekly.
We gotta get on that.
We do. We should just block a day.
So do you want to start with the first story, or should I just hop right into it?
You were telling me about what you did with the Comic-Con. Do you want to tell that story now or
Yeah, I'll tell that now.
tell the story?
Recently, well, not recently, but a while back, I went to London Comic Con. It wasn't huge. Ricky Berwick was there though. That was pretty cool. And I was in a not great cosplay. I got recognized a couple of times though.
Who are you
Uh,
cosplaying?
I was Owen from Total Drama Island.
Oh, cool.
And basically, I walked around, and right as soon as I got in, they confiscated the two, 1.5 liter water bottles I brought in from the dollar store. So, out of sheer spite, I took one of the water bottles and chugged the whole thing.
Oh my god.
I proceeded to run to the bathroom and nearly vomit.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous amount of water in one go.
But eventually, I got over it. We went to the show hall for the art center, and we looked around there for a bit, and then we went upstairs to where most of the merchandise was, and the meet
Ooh.
and greet, and all the presentations and stuff. I got handed the last schedule slash poster thing they had,
You
and I was
took it.
like, I feel honored. What can I do to make this thing a running joke? So what I started doing was going to every single person in cosplay and asking them to sign it.
Oh my god.
So anyone in
Just all of
costume, I
them.
asked to sign it in character. So I just have Ash from Evil Dead. I have Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil. I have Fallout characters. I have Mortal Kombat characters. I have so many people that signed it. And this isn't where the story ends. I
Okay.
spotted someone cosplayed as the girl from Death Note,
The
and I
girl from
thought that
Death
was
Note.
hilarious. So I went up to her and asked her, if you sign mine, can I sign yours? And it took her a minute. She signed my poster, and then I signed her book, and then it hit her that I just signed the Death Note. Because
Oh
in the
no.
show, anyone whose name in it dies, and she got the joke right
It took
there. She's
her
like,
way
"Are
too
you
long.
okay?" And I'm like, "I just got your signature on a poster. I'm great." It was incredible, and that's why they don't let me into Comic Con anymore.
Because you were just a nuisance, as normal.
I'm kidding. I'm probably not banned from Comic Con. It's
Probably.
really,
You're not sure.
I'm not entirely sure. They might let me back in, but I probably have to chug another water. The worst part is they also stole my Baja Blast. I was halfway done it. And
How was
I
a
didn't want to
Baja Blast contraband?
they just don't allow any outside beverages cuz they want you to spend money.
That's
Except
lame.
they didn't even have anywhere selling food or drink. At least where I saw, and I explored most of the convention center. I think there was one concession stand selling hot dogs. There was also a slushy machine, I just remembered. But
They
I
wanted
needed
everyone to drink
water.
the slushies.
I needed water.
There is some cool, bullshit excuses you could totally make. But also, who cares? Ugh.
Do you want to tell the next story, or do you just want me to keep going?
I mean, this is this podcast. We could either move on to the next story or go on a 4 hour rant about mac and cheese or something.
Well, let me tell you, I went to Valley of Village recently, and I spotted something from my childhood I never thought I'd see again.
What?
Now, I'm gonna give you three guesses as to what I found. Here's your hints. It's a movie. It stars Bill Murray with Chris Rock.
Um, I have no clue. Like, actually, I have no clue.
Osmosis Jones.
I've literally never heard of this.
You've never heard of
Not
Osmosis
once.
Jones?
Never heard of
Okay.
this.
Osmosis Jones is a movie. Half of it is animated and half of it is live action. So basically, we follow Bill Murray's character, who is a dad who works at a zoo, and he gets
Right.
sick from a monkey, and then it switches to inside his body with his immune system, where Chris Rock plays like this detective. It's like a buddy cop movie where Chris Rock is a white blood cell, but he's also like a cop because white blood cells are like the cops of the immune system.
I mean,
And he gets paired up with like this antibiotic that Bill Murray is given. So it becomes a buddy cop movie where the white blood cells like this hood detective that like doesn't follow rules, and then we've got like this pill who's a pill. Get it? He's a very rule following person. He is a literal pill and also a metaphorical pill. And it's hilarious. And the movie goes to some dark places.
I kind of
And
want to see this now.
it's a great movie. It's it's the best worst movie I've ever seen.
It sounds
And
like.
it's not even the weirdest thing I found while I was there.
I mean, you live in Canada, so that's not that's not a surprise.
I found a sealed copy of the Rayman TV show.
That's actually
But
like worth some money.
but one, the seal is broken. Two, it's in French.
I would totally import that.
It's hilarious. I have no idea why it was there. But randomly in a valley of village in southwestern Ontario, there was just a copy of Rayman in
I
French.
in
And
French.
it's the Rayman TV show, not the game.
That's worth money. That's not like a cheap thing.
I know, and I got it for $3.99.
You bought it. Good.
Yeah, of course I bought it. Do I look crazy? Yes.
Yes.
Hence why I bought it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, now the house is burning down.
I
Again.
told you fondue was a bad idea.
But I like fondue. Hold on, I gotta
Well,
go put the house out.
title this episode the episode where William gets crispied. All right, we're back.
My house is no longer on
William
fire.
William's no longer on fire. All right, I'm gonna let you take the next story.
Okay, so do you know you were talking about media and stuff? I have been watching Puppycat and Bee. I know I'm late on the train, and apparently there's been some drama about the Netflix versus the YouTube version and everything. But have I explained to you just how annoyingly strange this series is? Right?
There's a difference between the Netflix and YouTube version?
Yes. So,
What?
the YouTube
Oh, is it like
version.
a censorship thing?
No.
Oh,
Right? So, season 1 was put on Cartoon Network and YouTube, and it's 2 episodes. They were like shorts. I think the animation budget for each of them was like 500 quid. Like, they're really lovingly
how much is
animated,
that in
but
English?
uh in English, I reckon it was about roughly $450.
That is not large.
Yeah, it's a small budget. Like, small. And it shows, but it's lovingly animated. It's the first 2 episodes of the overall canon. And that directly leads into the true season 1, which is on YouTube and Verve, not YouTube and Cartoon Network.
Verve.
Verve, which is a whole can of worms, which isn't available in the UK. So I had to watch all of season 1 on YouTube. But it's also technically the second season because it carries on directly from the 2 pilot episodes. So we have 2 parts of the show
Where's this
calling
going?
themselves season 1. And basically,
Okay.
what's going on here is there's this girl, she keeps getting fired, she can't hold down a job, and in the first episode, it doesn't really explain how she got fired, but she just did. And as she's walking home in the rain, she's standing at a crosswalk, waiting for the lights to change, as like this cat that smells like a dog falls from a portal in the sky, and it's really weird, but it's really great. So what happens is this cat can talk, but it talks like a Vocaloid. Like it talks like an Animal Crossing character.
I like Animal Crossing.
It's really charming. Like it's very, very charming.
I've seen a bit of it, and something that's always stood out to me, aside from the art style, which is incredible, is the voiceover work. They really sell their characters, and it's just got a great story.
The voiceover is brilliant.
Just really bring it all together.
Yeah. There's one clip in the Netflix bit where like the power goes out and the person makes gazpacho, which is like a cold soup, but no one understands what gazpacho is because no one's heard of it. So there's like this one character who goes, "Why is it cold?" And then like the other character goes, "Because it's gazpacho." In like that voice, and it makes no sense. But
I know what gazpacho is for 2 reasons. I watched the Simpsons movie, and I was vegan for I think it was 6 months.
fair enough.
For about 6 months of my life, I ate no meat, and it was the most miserable I have ever been. Shout out to all my vegans out there holding the front line. Those people are crazy awesome. I've met some cool vegans, and one thing I learned while vegan is that lentil sloppy joes go hard. I was full vegan for about a month, and then I was vegetarian for 6. If
Yeah.
you ever get the chance, lentil sloppy joes, just throw some lentils in like the slow cooker with some various other ingredients. Throw it on a bun, cheddar cheese. Best meat replacement I've ever had. I will never not love them. Like I will consistently eat them instead of meat, given the option. They're that good. I enjoyed it more than I enjoy beef sloppy joes. Like it was crazy good.
Huh.
That's my little tangent over.
There's a lot of food in Puppy Cat and Bee. So
I like food.
Once you get to season 1 that isn't the pilot. Once you finish the 2 pilot episodes and you move to season 1, the animation budget just goes through the roof and the art style is beautiful. A lot of people didn't like the redesigns.
Huh. No, I've never actually seen the original art. I've only seen the show. So, I actually kind of want to see what the difference is.
Google Bee and Puppy Cat pilot real quick while I keep telling the story.
Yeah, you keep telling the story. I'm
So-
gonna mute real quick because my chair's really loud.
So yeah, as you get through the animation budget just went through the roof, and there was a lot people didn't like the change in art style between the pilot and the main thing. But I personally fell in love with the new art style. It's such a beautiful take on like everything. Just the water, the reflections, the colors. It's so pretty. Yeah. So the first and then that's 10 episodes, I believe. Episode 1 to 10 of the non-pilot. And it's worth watching. It's on YouTube. Even if you don't have Netflix, you can get a solid way through the story. And I'm going to be honest, I 100% am down for that.
Just checked the change. They're both really good.
They
I
are.
really like the new art style though. The shading, the reflections. I really like the lineless bottom on the eyes. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. They're both incredible. But I find that the original design is a little too complex.
Why is my
There's
house
too
on
much
fire
going
again?
on. What the heck, man?
Hold on, gotta put my house out again.
This is not a problem normal people have. Well, it looks like it's just me again. Well, Will's not here. I'd like to remind people that drink water, stay hydrated, and watch Osmosis Jones. 'Cause that movie is unironically a masterpiece.
Okay, right, my house is still up.
Ouch, that was my finger.
My house is no longer on fire again. I'm gonna put how
Your
many
editor's
times
gonna have a surprise.
I'm editing this one.
Oh, well, wonderful.
I'm gonna
If you
have
hear some cracking sounds, that's the sound of my finger popping in and out as I twisted it sideways. My
Ow.
knuckle shifted. It didn't even hurt. It just kind of felt relieving because I got a lot of the pressure out.
Huh. Right, continuing with the story. So the new art style is beautiful, and it's one of the things. This show is just cozy. It's a really, really cozy show, and it's
That's exactly how I would describe it. It kind of reminds me of. Have you ever seen Here Comes Nico?
no.
That game is it's beautiful, it's cozy, it's nice. It's like Animal Crossing met a short hike met acid. It's really it's really beautiful and it's so wholesome. It's also a lot like Stardew Valley. You essentially just go around helping people solve their problems.
How have I
With
not heard of this game? This seems like right up
let me
my
tell
alley.
you, the music design, the sound design, all of it is beautiful. If you're into that kind of stuff, like music and sound design, check out Scruffy on YouTube. He is my idol. I would do anything to meet him.
But yeah, I even if you just watch the first 10 episodes on YouTube, they're short episodes available for free. The art style is just amazing. It's crowdfunded as well, which is my favorite thing about the first season. Is it's a lot of
You know what
people's
else is
love
free?
child.
Smashing that subscribe button. We're supposed to do these plugs now. I
All
don't
right,
know.
yeah.
Make sure to drop a like. Tell us what your favorite color is in the comments, and I will tell you why you're all wrong.
I don't know. Rate us 5 stars or something. I don't know.
Yeah, rate us on Uber. How was your experience?
Right. So here's the thing. Season 1, very beautiful. The pilot, great. Just really good. Art style is still nice. I do like it. It reminds me a little bit of early cartoon. Not cartoon. What's it called? Early Robot Chicken. I think that's the kind of thing it reminds me of.
Oh,
The
really? I thought it was
pilot.
always claymation.
It was, but they kind of had animated bits at one point.
Huh.
Maybe
I
a
didn't
little.
know that.
Yeah, it was like for the first like 10 episodes or something like that, and then they just kind of
I
dropped it in
never
favor of the
really, I never
claymation.
really got, I never really got into Robot Chicken.
I've
The
never sat
jokes,
down and
some of
watched
the
the full
jokes are
episode.
really funny. I don't think we could talk about it on the podcast because a lot of the episodes break our one remaining rule.
Yeah, exactly. We can't really talk
Yeah,
about Robot Chicken,
no, we can't.
but yeah, watch the pilot, then watch the first season because the pilot literally continues into the first season despite the major shift in art style. And it's the same voice cast and everything, so it's fine. Yeah. So when you then the Netflix version came out, and the Netflix version somehow created just it redid the first season in 3 episodes, basically.
Oh,
Like it took the pilot and all of season one and condensed it into 3 episodes. Bear in mind
why?
the episodes are longer this time. You can watch everything from season one and the pilot in about an hour and 15 minutes. And it turns it into an hour and a half of content in the Netflix version. But because it's taking two and a bit worth of seasons of content and condensing it down, it basically rebooted the franchise, which is fine. The pilot wasn't in the same art style and didn't follow some of the same lore as the rest of season one.
To talk about this, we have to discuss parallel universes.
Here's the thing, it's not a parallel universe, and it very much makes sense in context of the world why it's being retold. But that is
Please tell me, can I guess?
sure.
Okay. My favorite thing TV shows do to like retcon or recover stuff is when they make it like an in-universe show inside the show.
That is brilliant. Um, so how all of this happens is B, who is the main character, being Puppycat, obviously, um, was sleeping in a cupboard, and it like links the two seasons together, even though like it all happens in season one and season two. It's really weird. But are you going to watch this show? Have you watched?
I think I've seen enough spoilers
You've seen.
to, but I don't. We shouldn't talk about it on the podcast because I mean the show is incredible. People need to
People
see
need
it.
to go see it. I will
Yeah.
refrain from talking about spoilers in the
How about
podcast.
this? If we make it to episode 100, we'll talk about it.
What are we on now? Like episode 5?
No, this is like episode 7.
Damn, we made more of this than I thought we did.
Yeah, because like you mentioned in episode 6, we made it over the average span that podcasts last, which is like 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So we're going longer than the average podcast, which means that this is like 7 because you mentioned that in 6. And I know
Cool.
that because I think I was one who edited 6.
Yes, you did edit 6.
And you can tell because it's so much worse.
It's
I'm
fine.
not the greatest editor, hence why I'm going to college for it. I just got accepted to Fanshawe for media and broadcast. Go Falcons!
I
And I'm excited to be able to learn a ton of new stuff about radio and media and make this podcast better.
As someone who did basically the British version of that course, you're going to have a blast.
Well, mine's probably gonna be better because it's not British.
Damn.
I'm allowed to make anti-Brit jokes because we are essentially just a colony.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we're just a colony.
You're the better colony that somehow has a worse economy.
And the other half of me is Belgian.
You're not even like what? You're like,
I'm like mostly Belgian.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
mostly. I'm like 90% Belgian. It's hilarious.
Okay,
Like
I'm gonna
both my
finish.
grandparents were
I'm gonna
from Belgium.
finish you being Belgium. I'm gonna nuke Belgium. Give me a minute.
Why? Oh, come on, man. They got good chocolate. We got good waffles. We invented the French fries
Yeah,
and
America
other
really
stuff.
screwed you with the naming there. Now everyone thinks they're from France.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically they're originally called crisp or chips. Chips are crisps, and then chips are fries, and fries are yummy.
Yeah,
Man, that's like a whole ass learning a language right there. Am I allowed to swear on this? Bleep that out.
you have sweared in the past.
Bleep this
Just
out. Bleep me talking.
okay.
Just like intermittent bleeps.
I'm just gonna bleep the whole. I'm just gonna like unnecessarily censor it, so it just sounds like you're saying horrible atrocities.
So essentially me on my day-to-day life. Thanks.
Damn.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
I'm tired of people comparing the Nintendo Switch Lite to like the 2DS. Cause I freaking hate the 2DS. This is
No.
this is about to this is about to be a tangent right here. I hate the 2DS. You can't fold it. It's wider at the top than at the bottom, so it doesn't fit in pockets right. The screens are smaller. There's no 3D. It's just objectively the worst DS.
That's fair. I grew up. I didn't get a Nintendo 3DS until after the Switch came out because I was kept breaking the 2DS is playing so much bloody Animal Crossing New Leaf. So, what
I see no
happened?
problem with that statement.
I love New Leaf. I literally found just a copy I didn't know I had on my desk earlier when I was tidying up.
What?
I have so many copies I'm losing track. Um anyway.
I'm
Uh
like me with my game collection. I have like listen, that's the sound of a shelf drawer opening filled with various games I'm yet to catalog. Like I didn't know I had Bakugan Defenders of the Core on Wii, and yet here it is.
I love Battleground. I had so many growing up.
Bakugan Defenders of the Core is great, and I will not be accepting any other opinions.
I
It's just not
haven't
allowed.
played any of the video games. I just used to play the actual game with my
I
friends in
play
like the
I played
schoolyard.
Battle Brawlers on DS, and then I picked up playing actual Bakugan as a hobby and realized how much worse it was than the actual games. So I
Battleground
think
is
I
one of
stuck to
those
the game.
things that very much
Wait, wait,
depends
wait, wait,
how
wait.
fun
Hold on,
it
hold on, hold on,
is
hold on, hold on.
based
No, no, no,
on
no, 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 no.
who you play it
No,
with.
you did not just call it Battlegon.
That's what everyone calls it over here. It's how the accent pronounces it.
No, it's Bakugan. What the hell?
Everyone calls it
No.
Battleground over here.
Oh, you guys
Like,
ruined everything.
literally everyone.
Excuse me.
We're aware we're wrong.
Yeah. Pardon me. Oh, you might want to bleep that one out too.
I'm just gonna like make it. I'm gonna voice over in like a terrible fake Canadian accent of just like it's the worst thing possible. Gonna get AI to learn your voice just to say that you hate clams. I don't know.
I do hate clams. They're not
Yeah, me
that good.
too.
I did try crab cakes for the first time yesterday though,
I don't mind
and
crab.
they were incredible.
Yeah, I don't mind crab at all. Crab's good.
Crab's like a really meaty type of shellfish.
It is.
I've never tried lobster, but the crab cakes I ate, and it came with like a chipotle sauce that you could dip them in. It was wildly good. I got it from like
Lobster.
this. I got it from like this random restaurant that I got recommended by the place I was repairing our car, and they just said, "Hey, go here." And we were like, "All right," and we went and tried it, and there was a half-hour wait time for the breakfast just because people love it there. So it was really good. Like we were sitting on the corner waiting for our number to be called to go inside, and someone pulled up and said, "What's the wait time?" if your restaurant's that infamous for having a long wait time and being really good, you're doing something right, and yet they're still not doing well financially.
Yeah, they need to change their pricing model.
No, no, no. The pricing was fine. Like it was fairly high, but it was fairly high quality food,
Yeah, that's the
and
thing. They need to
there
go
was
like
tons
cost
of
plus
seating.
or something.
There was tons of seating. It was just because COVID wrecked every restaurant.
Oh yeah, it did. COVID like destroyed the hospitality stuff over here.
But it looks like they're coming back because that place was packed and they were making money.
That's good. I hope things get better for. I am a big supporter of like local business. I have a local game store I buy all my games from that aren't new releases because they don't actually do like new releases. And I have a place where I go and get my boba tea from that like I'm pretty sure I'm like one of four customers at this point.
When it comes to buying video games, I also try and go local. I recently got a haul from a farmer's market booth that was running a pretty good Black Friday deal. And then I always go to a place in London called Game Cycle. Shout out to Game Cycle. That place is great. If the people at Game Cycle hear this, um, $10 gift card would be nice. Please.
We've
I'd
told a
really like
lot
that.
of people in the Philippines about you.
Yes, the Philippines want a Game Cycle. Start
Please,
franchising, boys.
please do. The Philippines will love it.
I need to do some research on the Philippines. What's our demographic there?
I have no clue. We don't have enough listens to like actually have decent stuff.
That's why I like doing like
You're
smaller
plugged in. Why
podcasts
do I
because
need to
like we
restart
can
my
say
headset?
we can say whatever we want, and like not tons of people hear it, but to people who do hear it, it'll mean a lot to them, and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to Purple Rocket, one of the real OGs.
that's my chief right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No one is getting this far into our podcast. At least that.
absolutely not. I'm like half an hour into my recording.
Yeah, same. We should probably actually cover some of the news that I've written down,
Oh yeah,
in which we don't talk about anything that a normal person would care about. So top of the list.
top of the morning.
Top of um, the person who waited a month in line for the Nintendo Switch and was Nintendo, at least Nintendo classes though, as the first person to buy the Switch. Alex C&D, fellow Nintendo YouTuber, got hacked. Their
Ah,
account was their account was terminated by a
oh,
cryptocurrency scam, but they got the
yeah.
channel back.
Normally, scamming is actually frowned upon.
Yeah, normally, but you know they got the channel back. All the videos are back up. But interesting thing, people need to stop hacking channels. It's not fair, um, and there needs to be better preservation in YouTube videos, in my mind. Because
Yeah,
think about it, if a channel gets terminated, then that's a lot of media that goes away. And hasn't there been a whole push towards like preserving media? There
that's
probably
fair.
there probably is a YouTube backup project. If I can find one, I'll put them in the link of this video. Next news. The next news, doo if I can find the list, because I've lost it, because I'm potato. We've got DLC coming out. For both
Ah,
Mario and
yes, the new
Splatoon.
Mario Kart DLC. Oh, and Splatoon.
Yeah.
What Splatoon DLC are we getting?
Splatoon is adding a bunch of new maps, a bunch of new weapons, hopefully rebalancing elitas.
Well, that's not really DLC. That's just a big update.
Yep, and they're adding a whole new game mode called Big Run, where you will, if you imagine it's going to act like a Splatfest, except it's Salmon Run, and you'll be able to play on new maps.
I saw they were a lot bigger, and that's exciting.
Yeah, it's free. It comes with the game.
I
But
need to get Splatoon 3 at some point.
you do. I want to play with you. Right. You got any news?
I did all my stories at the top of the episode,
Uh,
but I do got the latest segment of Lucas's cool game facts.
Before we do that, Game Award voting is open. You can vote on the Game Awards now.
Oh
Um,
crap! Q send me that link in Discord after the episode.
yes, I'll send you a link.
Remember,
Um,
your vote matters, chat. Also, Thor Ragnarok is good.
oh, you played it?
No, don't have to. It has Kratos.
It has Kratos, who actually looks like my dad. I think it's the beard. Ah, in other news, um, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are now out and are being plagued with bugs, and apparently there's been a whole discussion about whether or not it's hardware or a software problem, but that's a really stupid debate because of the fact, you see, we've got Breath of the Wild, we've got Mario Odyssey, we've got Monster Hunter Rise. You can have games that are massive in scope, that work on Switch. This this is a hardware problem, and people put it into an. This isn't a hardware problem. I mean, people put it into an emulator, and some of the bugs go away, but a lot of them are still there. It's poor coding, bad optimization. It's on the developer's part, but
There's just
also
so much wrong with it. There's a lot of problems with frame rate and pop in, big time pop in. I have quite a few hours in the game already. It's fun and the story's good and all the Pokemon designs are great, but ouch, does it run like ass.
yeah, it's a sad thing. Game Freak rushes their games. I wish they didn't, but we take what we can get here, and even though it's not as good as Arceus, which I voted for Game of the Year, it's good. It's a good game. The story is there. There's a lot of great structure, and if they release a patch that fixes bugs and improves performance, then hey, we're good. Great
I
game.
like Scarlet and Violet more than Arceus.
Do you? Now you see, for
Yep.
me, the ability to like free throw Pokeballs and the combat and
That's a
the
big
lack of
thing for
combat,
me.
that I really love about Arceus, and I wish it was in Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, if you could just free throw Pokeballs, it would be so much better.
Yeah, if it was literally, if they took that the entire interaction with Pokemon, that system, and put it into Scarlet and Violet, I would have bought the game launch day. But just now, I'm holding off. Um,
I would honestly prefer if they gave us a little more guidance as to where to go next, because I've had friends just wander into the psychic gym and their get their entire team bodied.
I also like how you can do that though, because I am 100% for gameplay cues and using landmarks in the environment to show people where to go instead of text boxes and handholdy arrows. You need to be able to guide the player without forcing them to go in a specific way. Um,
Just even like a hint board or something or anything. I just keep getting lost and just absolutely wiped.
Breath of the Wild did a really good job of showing players where to go, and it scaled the difficulty across the world, which I think would have been a better system.
Yes, difficulty scaling would have been great. Like if each gym leader had a party for whatever level gym badge you're fighting them for, instead of, yeah, you're supposed to do this 1/3, and if you don't, you're gonna get absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah, um, there's stuff that could have been done that would have made this game better. And with that, we will move on to the last segment, Lucas's interesting thing about a game.
So I'm a big fan of Dying Light, and as a fun fact, you can actually go into a Mario level in Dying Light.
Can you?
If you go to Old Town, Sector Zero, there's a chimney that has a green pipe in it, and you can enter it, and it'll enter you into like a first-person Mario level where all the zombies or all the Goombas are replaced with zombies. You can even get a copy of the Tanuki suit.
That's brilliant. I love
It's
that.
almost a one-for-one copy of the first level of Super Mario Bros.
Nice. I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, I did, and that's why I said it.
Huh. So, what are the takeaways from this podcast? Watch Puppy Cat and
The
Bee.
Yeah, play Dying Light and
Yeah.
watch Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, that's the takeaway. So, nothing about video games at all
Yeah,
is
we
the
mentioned
takeaway.
like the DLC for Mario Kart.
We mentioned them, but that's not really the takeaway from this podcast. We're just recommending
Uh,
shows and Dying Light, I guess. Which
there'll always be other episodes to talk about.
this is the off-topic podcast.
This has been the Off Topic podcast.
It has
This is
been.
Lucas signing off. Bye. I have no idea what song that is. It's a
It's
Mario. Is it
yeah,
3D World? It's 3D World.
yeah, it's 3D World.